Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Amber, and this is a space where I talk about all things motherhood. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Go ahead down there, girlfriend. And also follow me on Instagram right up here, Amber Elizabeth 37. All right, now that we have all that taken care of, let's go ahead and get into it. So in today's video, I will be giving you a 4-month postpartum update. Before we get started, I really want to give a big thank you to my husband, to my family, to my friends, to you guys. You know, without you, I wouldn't be here. Without all of you, I mean, I needed every one of you in my life in some capacity to help me to get to where I am right now. And I just can't say thank you enough. So as many of you know, I started this channel because I was having a lot of postpartum issues, dealing with postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety. I was just really having a hard time. So I started this YouTube channel as an outlet to help me with my depression and my anxiety and just my overall mental health. So now I am 4 months postpartum with my second son, and I'll say that I am doing a lot better than I was during my first video. I'll be sure to link that video somewhere up here. During the first video, you could tell I was just really unsure, very just depressed, like super out of it. I wasn't myself. I wasn't myself for sure. Now, as of today, I do feel like myself, but I don't think I'm 100% myself, if that makes any sense. Like, I feel good, I feel great, but I know that there's more that I need to do. So for example, today I woke up and I was in the best mood. I told my husband, I called him on my way to Target and I was like, dude, I am in such a great mood. Like, there was just nothing could stop me. Like, I felt great. I went and I got like a cute top, I got some cute earrings. I was just like, I feel really good about myself today. And then, you know, I tried on this shirt and realized that it didn't fit and it made my shoulders look broad. And like, I had a complete meltdown. I know it sounds crazy to cry about like those broad shoulders, but you know, now I'm also dealing with like some body confidence issues. I used to like have like a really like tight little cute little body, and now I'm like, you know, I don't look that way anymore. So I guess when like I saw myself in the mirror, it really like took a shot at me, and it took a shot at my mental well-being, because I was just like, gosh, it's just like another thing that I have to overcome. Since all of this pandemic stuff has gone on, I definitely feel like it has slowed down the recovery process for me, because now we're like stuck inside. I'm stuck inside with 2 kids. There's nowhere to go. There's really no break. I won't lie, I have been overwhelmed. The first couple weeks, I found myself crying every day. I will be completely honest. I cried. I would cry to my husband. I'm just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, how am I going to do this? Because I have a new baby who is, you know, just small and fragile, who just needed me all the time. And then I have this rambunctious 18-month-old who just wanted mommy's attention because I was there. And not only that, I had to make sure that I wasn't slacking on him learning, and making sure that he was still keeping up with the things that he had already learned in daycare, you know, like making sure he's signing, making sure he's, you know, doing his numbers and his ABCs. And, you know, that was still like another thing. It's just like, okay, like, when does this stop? I felt like I never got a break. I still don't feel like I get a break. It's like 24/7, I'm mom, 24/7. And it just, it was overwhelming. And then to have 2 kids at once who are so close in age, I was losing it. And right now, you know, when they go through that 4-month sleep regression, that's another issue. You know, they get really cranky, they're very irritable. My 18-month-old has his molars coming in. He's very irritable. Like, he's whining all day. I'm just like, what am I going to do? Like, how is this going to work? I mean, now, you know, recently within the past like couple weeks, I've definitely like just let things slide. Like, my house is not the cleanest. My son, I didn't want him to watch TV at all, but now, you know, whatever, we watch TV. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. But I do make sure that like I turn on the iPad, we sing some songs, we sing some educational songs. I've learned during this time that I can't force anything to happen. It just is what it is. This is a crazy time, and you know, I'm just trying to make the best of it. And I am. And you know what? I have to constantly tell myself, there's nothing I can do about the situation right now. There is nothing I can do. I can't change it. I can't send him to daycare. I don't have help. There's nothing I can do. Just deal with it. And I'm not saying that there aren't days where it's hard, but I'm learning, like, you know, if I just like let things go and I'm not so tough on myself, it doesn't feel as bad. Does that make sense? So, one big problem that I was having initially in the beginning of postpartum was sleeping. I could not sleep, which is so important during this phase because your body has that chance to reset, to start over, so you can get ready and prep for the next day. And thank God somebody knew that he needed to sleep so mommy could sleep, so I can reset my body and like reset and get ready for the next day. He sleeps 4 to 5 hour stretches at night. He sleeps from about 10 to 6. He wakes up once around 2 or 3. And then at around 6 o'clock, sometimes 7, I can breastfeed him again and he'll go to sleep for another 3 hours. I don't know, he must have known, like I needed that to happen because it allows me to start the day not so like tense and stressed. And it helps me to continue my day with ease because now I can take care of my toddler. He's had breakfast. We've spent a little one-on-one time. I call it education time or learning time. We've done like numbers or letters. We've done something where I don't feel like I've just been a bump on a log and I'm like, gosh, there goes my 18-month-old and I'm not teaching him anything. So that it works, and it's like we're starting to get into this rhythm and it's just really, really working. And I'm glad that I gave myself the time to get into that rhythm. And sleep also obviously aided into me getting into that rhythm because now I know I can go to sleep around 11 because he's probably already asleep. I know I can get 4 to 5 hours of sleep with him and then wake back up at 6 and be totally okay. So it definitely works. Getting on that schedule works. I did not put him on a schedule. Honestly, he just kind of fell into it on his own, and I just put me and my oldest son's schedule around his, and it's worked for us. The other thing is my 18-month-old now does go to bed at 10 o'clock at night. I hate to say it, but he does, because it's easier for him to go to sleep later and sleep till like 7 or 8 in the morning for me, because I need that time for myself. I had to realize that there's no such thing as perfection. I had to take it how it came. With my first son, I did baby wise. I was on a strict schedule, like you go to sleep at this time, you wake up at this time, you don't sleep over your nap, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing that right now because I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm not gonna make it. If he goes to sleep at 10 o'clock and gives me a little bit of time to wake up, at least brush my teeth so I can get my day started with him, make sure he has breakfast, I picked up the house, I picked up the toys from the night before, the dishes are washed, then that's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna stress myself about him going to bed at 7 or 8. It's not working because I don't want him up at 6. I need a break from everyone and like a moment to myself. So if you wanna judge me, hey. So as you guys know, I am still breastfeeding. I'm 4 months postpartum. And honestly, I can say this is going a lot better than with my first son. With my first son, I was so rigid. Like every time I breastfed, I pumped because I was determined to have this oversupply, this stock load. And I remember I got to around 6 months and I started to notice a dip in my supply. I panicked hard. And honestly, with this baby, I'm not pumping. I'm just like, okay, if he eats, he eats. If he doesn't, I mean, there's Similac. Fed baby is best. I'm not stressing myself about breastfeeding. But I do find that now that I'm less stressed, I'm eating more and I'm drinking more water, I don't even have those thoughts. In my head, I'm like, if I'm still leaking, I must be fine and the factory must still be going. I'm not gonna stress myself about it. So I think in my first video, we talked a little bit about my relationship with my husband, and not to dive too far into that, but honestly, he's doing so much better. Thank God. I'll be honest, with my first baby, it was not pretty. We had a hard time those first couple months. It was not a good situation. Obviously, he'd never had a baby. I'd never had a baby. We did not know what to expect. I'm already an emotional individual. You don't need to ask anyone that. I can tell you that for sure. I am very emotional. I wear my heart on my sleeves. If you say something, I'm gonna take it to heart. That's just who I am. You know, it's one of my best and worst qualities at the same time. So with my husband, we struggled. And I remember, you know, just feeling like, does he even care about me? And honestly, I knew he cared about me. He just probably didn't know how to show it in a way that I was going to receive it, especially at that time during postpartum, my first time. This second time, my husband has definitely learned how to just relax and just give me what I need as I need it and as it comes. He understands that it's never gonna look the same, and he just goes with the flow. He's not so stuck on like, well, you used to be this way. He doesn't do that. He is very aware that, you know what, this is how Amber feels today, so I'm going to work on today. I'm going to take it a day at a time. Amber's happy today, we're gonna be happy today. Amber's sad today, I'm gonna give her a little extra TLC. So I can't thank him enough. He has definitely made this postpartum so good and as smooth and as effortless as it could possibly be. Not to say we don't still have like arguments or whatever, but they are definitely not what they used to be. Nowhere near. Like, honestly, it really has been good. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about is my body. So I'm gonna insert a picture and show you what I used to look like. I know that there are other people who have like worse issues than me, like weight issues or whatever you want to call it, but these are the issues that I'm struggling with. I'm struggling with liking my body right now. I used to have like this like little tiny waist. I used to like take really good care of myself, and now I just don't have the motivation to do it. When I look in the mirror, I don't like what I see. Like my stomach is just not tight. It's just how I feel. You know, there are days when I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, dang girl, you did it. You did it. You have 2 kids and you look damn good. There are other days I look at myself and I'm like, girl, you need to be doing a lot more than what you're doing right now. I'm really at the point where I'm trying to appreciate my body and appreciate what it's done. Some days it's hard. It's hard. Some days it's hard to accept it when you go from one body to another. And I know it's not the worst and it could be worse, but for me, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. My boobs are saggy. My waist isn't as tight. It's just not my favorite. Like my skin isn't as good as it used to be. You know, there are just certain things that I don't like. I do struggle with those feelings, and there are days I do feel guilty when people are like, oh, but like, you know, you didn't gain weight or you didn't gain a stretch mark or like whatever, but that's fine for you. But for me, this is what I don't like, you know? It drives me crazy when people try to like invalidate like your insecurity just because they don't have it. It's just like, but it's still mine. It's still my insecurity to have, you know? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you guys what I look like right now. You know, you can save your judgment. You can say, oh, you look great, or like, why are you showing this or whatever. This is just how I feel about my own body and things that I wish that I could change. Like I said, you know, I'm not comfortable with my body right now and the way that I look right now for me and for my standards. So this is just for me, but I'll go ahead and show you guys right now. So this is what I look like right now. It's not my favorite, but you know, So overall, that has been my postpartum experience so far. It's definitely been a lot better than it was the first time. But hey, I mean, it's still going pretty well. So I'm excited. So down in my comments, let me know what was the hardest part for you during postpartum. I know for a lot of women, look, we just don't get to talk about it how we want to. And I want this place to be an open forum for conversation about postpartum. For about anything motherhood. I mean, it's hard. Motherhood is hard. So go ahead and let me know down in the comments what's the hardest thing for you right now. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.